How you perking? I hope you perking good. So, Bryan Kohberger with the Idaho 4 case. Whew, Lord. Apparently that was an entire saga, and now it is over. I air quote that because I don't exactly know how something's over, if there's still more closure to be had. So I guess we'll stay tuned and see if anything else comes out about that. But I have been informed by y'all that it's time to film a proof vid. It's time to film a proof video. So I filmed the Bryan Kohberger video when? Let me look up here on my thing. It has been a while. I want to say it was back when some of this stuff was first coming out and it was becoming big in the news. Yeah, it says 2 years ago is when I filmed this, and I published this video on June 6th, 2023. June 6th, 2023. And apparently a lot of things that I said in that video 2 years ago have come true throughout the years here, and it's time to see all of the predictions that have come to light. So that's what we're here to do, just trying to get it all together in one place. Just in case you weren't here with the channel back in June 6, 2023. That's been a minute. Maybe you're new here, or at least newer than that. So I'm going to put all of those clips right here in one place for you, for your convenience, so you don't have to go back and try to hunt for it and figure out where's the pieces, the predictions that came true. So we're going to take a look into that right now. And, Lord, is there more that I need to be looking into with this? Good God, hey, so apparently, yeah, he has, pled guilty on all 4 counts and, has, I guess, waived his right to appeals and is, I guess, going to prison for the rest of his life. So anyway, let's take a look at what comes here, and then we'll meet right back here in just a little bit. From what I'm seeing here, this looks like the mindset of someone who is really ill. Someone who truly is sick. And I don't mean sick in that judgmental way where somebody's like, oh, that sick motherfucker, you know, like whatever. I mean it, which, you know, if you feel like that applies, then okay. But I am meaning it like he's sick. He is ill, from what I'm seeing here. And so this is looking like more guilty than innocent from what I'm seeing. Just putting that out there. So gonna dive into more. And in terms of reasonings around why, from what I'm looking at, this is, again, something about some attachment or connection that he perceives that he has with someone. And you know, because the Lover's card here, it's like, oh, but I have feelings for this person, kind of thing. And it, you know, I guess he had feelings for someone and felt some kind of way. There's something around that. So I'm gonna pull more. Matter of fact, I'm gonna shuffle these back in and then pull more. Whew. All right. Really confused as to why this 4 of Cups card is coming up in here, because this is kind of like as if this, what's his name, Bryan Kohberger, was feeling like, you know what, my hands are tied, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place on this. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to handle this? And it's almost like he doesn't feel like there's some other kind of ways to handle this because of this deep emotional issue that he has, like some major emotional disturbances that he has that he's not able to get a handle on around women. He's got a really weird view of women, and I don't know where this comes from. It feels like it came from earlier on in his life, that there could have been a woman or multiple women who did him wrong or said horrible things or treated him poorly or did something that really confused him to his core or something like that. So he's got some weird issue with women. First of all, I don't know if the people who were killed, I don't know if they were all for women or if they were all for men or, whatever, but there's something here that's going on related to women. So I'm assuming at least somebody out of the four was a woman. So, because he's got some sort of hangups on that. And the thing here is the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse. And so to see this, it's almost like he got onto some sort of a cycle and it just went from there. Kind of like how when people go through things during their development and it just negatively spirals from there, because it's like, say somebody made them feel not good enough and then somebody else came along and also made them feel not good enough, and then when they went to school they also felt not good enough, and then tried to make friends and didn't feel not good enough, and just one after another, just hit after hit after hit of continuing to get these repeated messages in his perception, like, again, because it has showed that he lacks some resiliency to absorb that, vet it through his internal guidance system, let some of it roll off of his back and just keep going. It's like he really held on to all these things and didn't know how to properly process it, and so it just kind of went into an avalanche. And so it feels like, oh gosh, I don't want to say this, but it feels like he was kind of, I'm just going to say these words, and I know that there's a better way to say this out there. It's just, this is what's coming to my head, but it's like he was screwed from a young age, like the whole, he never had a chance kind of thing in his mind, because he needed a lot of help with what was going on up here, a lot of help processing things, sorting through things. They're even making me feel like he could have been neurodivergent, to where his brain literally did not function in the same way as his peers' brains. And so putting connections together didn't come as seamlessly or as easy for him. It feels a little awkward here. And it's like some people can have that and have some sort of internal or external resources to still not become someone who engages in horrible criminal activity. But for some reason, it seems like he wasn't able to get on that train, that successful train there, and he somehow allowed himself to kind of fall off that wagon. And so it looks very much so like he did do this from what I'm seeing here. When I get the Tower card, ooh Lord, with the Tower card, that to me is talking about the main event, the act of taking the 4 lives. And seeing that card there is really crushing to see. And what hurts even more is this Hangman card on top of it. This is a slow card. And so this feels like this is something that was like planned, for some time. Like, this isn't just one of those, I'm not seeing like, a crime of passion, like you did what? And then lose control and stuff happen. Like, I'm seeing, let me think about this. Let me fantasize about this. Let me plan this out. Again, the Knight of Pentacles taking a long time to kind of go through things. It's like, this was not impulsive. From what I'm seeing here, this was like, just as his build into becoming a very messed up individual. I hate using language like that, but I'm just, I'm having a hard time finding better words right here live as I'm recording this. Just as turning into who he became was a long drawn out process. It seemed to be a long drawn out process deciding that this is something that he might one day want to do. Like having an interest in this one day. There's a lot, emotionally and psychologically off here. He needed a lot more emotional and psychological attention than he received. And it would have had to be extensive work to help him get to the place where he could be a safe and productive member of society, because this is deep. This goes deep, and some weird thing here with women too. Yeah, like I just keep sweating and like, whew. Again, I don't know if he is going to trial, is in trial now, has finished trial. I don't know where this process is. But it's looking here like some kind of a legal process is intended to go, because I'm seeing swords cards, which are oftentimes legal, and the Hierophant card, which is oftentimes a kind of mediating thing. So either some kind of mediation, like, let's see, what would criminal mediation be? Like plea deals or something? Something along those lines. That's a possibility here. Any kind of a way to legally negotiate something. So I do see that here. It comes up in the reverse position though, with the Four of Swords in reverse. This feels like, how do we put this? This feels like kind of trying to get out of it some sort of a way, but not, how do I put this? I'm not an attorney, so I don't know all the right words, you know, I'm just going with what I'm receiving here. Getting out of something some type of way, as if, like, you know, all the things that we were just talking about everything that he's gone through, all the ways that his brain seems to work, all the things that he's thinking about and doing, there's something that around that might come up, in a kind of weird excuse type of way. Now, I don't think anybody is, you know, particularly going to get away with using any, you know, mental health related stuff as excuses. If this is, you know, if they really do connect the dots with evidence in him and stuff like that, then, you know, I don't necessarily know it will go very far to try to use that as an excuse. But in terms of what I'm seeing here, illusions or attempts towards that topic will be made. Chariot card, moving forward with that. So I see them moving forward with that some type of a way, whether that's to try to make people feel a little bit more sorry for him, or make people feel like, wow, he really kind of just didn't know what he's doing, or he's really kind of not connected fully. His brain is not firing correctly. There's something medically we need to pay attention to before we, you know, I don't know. There's just some kind of something with that flavor showing up here, putting that down. However, this is a card that we get all the time about evidence, and it's in the upright position. So apparently there's plenty of evidence here. The Knight of Cups is in reverse, so that looks like anybody that would come in to try to save the day, smooth things out for him, you know, people that are like when they call experts onto the stand to be like, see, he really wasn't, you know, stuff isn't working well. So, you know, your expert opinion on, and trying to get experts to kind of, to speak on his behalf. I don't see that working. So either they don't find people who are willing to do that, or the people who are willing to do that, it doesn't really go anywhere. People aren't buying it, they're not sold on it some kind of a way. And just saying, I did not get the Justice card, so I am not 100% sure about a trial, or 100% sure about, you know, a conviction. However, these two cards do allude to it. So again, some sort of mediating, negotiating factor legally, trying to come in and settle the score some type of way. And this card visually, I mean, look at it. Visually, someone's stuck, and it can have that look like you're behind bars, you know, it can have that look. And so from what I'm seeing here, there is at least quite a heavy possibility that he would go through some sort of mediating, negotiating, legal type of situation, whether it's some sort of plea deal agreement or trial, and that would ultimately end in him serving time. It looks like that is what's most likely to occur here. I don't really see I mean, there's possibilities of that not happening, because again, I'm not getting my justice card here, which is something that would help me be more sure and feel more like a guarantee that you can take to the bank. So without that, I hesitate to feel like, oh, 100% certain. Oh yeah, definitely. Hesitate to do that. But from what I see here, it looks incredibly likely that he would get put behind bars. And from what I see here, he did do it. And from what I see here, there's some weird issue with women. There's some weird issue with being kind of in his own head, in his own world, being attracted to at least one other person, feeling either ignored or rejected some kind of way. Planning this and thinking about this for a long time, feeling like there's no other kind of way. He is sick. He is ill. This man is very, very ill. All right, y'all. So, thoughts, feelings, further questions. What do you got? What do you got? This is not one of those cases that I followed very closely. I'm sure you could tell just by the reading, but every time I do a reading on something, even if it's not something that I followed closely, I start to get interested in it just by virtue of what I see in the cards. So I don't know if there's anything else to look into around it or what. I don't know what your thoughts are. But yeah, looking back at all of that now, 2 years later, it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. So anyway, if you'd like to book a private reading, then BeasTalksAndTarot.com. You can book a private reading with me. I have 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute options. I also have Reiki Energy healing for anybody that likes a cleansing, clearing, tune-up of sorts. I've got that for you. Also, intuitive healing sessions for anybody that needs some sort of coaching and help, de-stressing, figuring out how to take a load off and leave it in the past to not, continue on with the future, how to get where you want to get in the future. All of those things, if you need a buddy up on that, then intuitive healing sessions is there on my website, and tarot tutoring if you'd like to learn how to read the cards the way I read the cards. So all of that, BeasTalksAndTarot.com if you're interested. And I guess it's time for a B-roll here, because this was kind of an intense one. And I can bring up a lot of feelings for people when we do stuff about true crime. There's obviously a lot of victims involved in this, a lot of people who aren't going to get a chance anymore in this lifetime. And so because of all that heaviness, let's do some B-rolls. Let's do some shenanigans here at the end of this. Something to try to lift the vibe, lift things, help end on a more positive, cheerful, laughable note, whatever. And it seems like there's still plenty of things for us to look into in the future, whether it's about politics, whether it's about true crime, whether it's about astrology, whether it's about celebrities, current events, you name it. I swear there's something popping up every day, and I can't keep up. Trying to do it all. It's one of my busy seasons at work, so trying to film and do that at the same time, I'm like, oh man, I'm treading water, but trying to get there for you. And so here's this proof video, coming up with a B-roll in just a second. And until next time, don't be a stranger, come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, y'all.
Why don't you talk about her? She strapped one on, bent you over the bed, and showed you who's boss. Hey, brother. Balls. We all go with her. You keep telling yourself that. The eyes of all people are upon us, so that if we shall deal falsely, there's only so many of us in this lifetime. For us,